Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. This is Whistlekick Martial Arts Radio. And today, Andrew and I are going to talk about some volunteer opportunities here at Whistlekick. It's going to be an interesting conversation. You're going to get to pick up some behind the scenes stuff. And of course, you know, maybe we talk about a thing that we're looking for some help with that you might want to help out with. If you're new to the show, this is a weird episode for you to come in on. You might want to go check out another one, but you don't have to. You can check out all the episodes that we do at whistlekickmartialartsradio.com. And if you want to see all the things that we do, because we do a lot more than just Whistlekick, you can go to whistlekick.com. That's where you're going to find all the projects, the products, the things that we've got going on. And if you find something in our store, which is one of the ways that we try to pay for all this, because we're small and growing, but still feisty upstart company, you can use the code podcast15. It'll save you 15% off any of the things that we have over there. We've also got, and I got to consult my notes here because there's too much going on for me to remember it all in the right order. We bring you 2 shows a week, all under the heading of connecting, educating, and entertaining martial artists throughout the world. And if you want to go deeper than what we offer here on the show, you can contribute to the Patreon, patreon.com/whistlekick. I can talk, I promise. And for as little as $2 a month, you get to go behind the scenes. And we've got Andrew with his sign. And you can step it up from there. And we give you exclusive content that you're not going to get anywhere else. If you join at $25 a month tier, you get drafts of all of our books and training programs. If you value those things and would have bought them anyway, you would actually be saving money at $25 a month because we're rolling out training. We got another training program that's almost ready. Okay. You want to go deeper on the training programs, whistlekickprograms.com. We've got very simple names for all the things that we do. Now, Andrew, we do a lot of things, don't we?
We do a lot of things. You're right.
We do a lot of things.
More and more every day.
You tell me about it. The thing that I think we're best known for, of course, is this show.
Yep.
You know, this is the thing. Most people that end up in the Whistlekick sphere, realm, whatever you want to call it, most people come in via the podcast. It's either that, you know, they search for us somewhere or somebody recommends an episode or for a lot of people, it's their instructor or somebody that they knew participated in the show. And then they listened to that episode and went, oh, this is kind of a cool thing.
Yep. That was absolutely 100% me.
Yeah. What was your story with that?
I heard an episode that you recorded with Mike Sartwell.
Oh, yeah.
And he's from Claremont, New Hampshire, and I trained at his dojo for a month when I was transitioning and moving through the area. So, you know, I didn't know him really well, but we were Facebook friends, and you interviewed him, and he posted on his Facebook, hey, I just got recorded for this podcast. Here's a way to listen to it. And so I listened to his episode and was like, wow, it was really fun. Like, oh my gosh, they have, I mean, at the time, I think he was episode somewhere in the 200 or 300s. And I was like, wow, there's hundreds of episodes. I'm going to start listening because this was really fun. That's how I got connected.
Right on. Yeah. Yeah. And then you and I talked shortly thereafter. And
yep.
Yeah. Well, your story is kind of an interesting and a little bit of a typical one, because as people who listen, watch, are aware of what we do, you may not realize how many people really go into this. When we talk about this show, depending on how you look at it, there's like 6 people involved. Now, some of them do very small things, but those very small things take things off of my shoulders. And if you pay attention at all to what I've got going on just in life, and the very, you know, it's Whistlekick, but how do we fund Whistlekick? I have a job. I have a consulting job that takes a lot of time. And so every little thing that I can take off my plate, even if it takes somebody 5 minutes a week, or I think you got started at like 10 minutes a week. You were helping out.
I was helping out with the Facebook group, and my sole job, and I put job in quotes because it wasn't really a job, but my sole purpose with the Facebook group was just to welcome new members, which I still do. And so every Friday I typically will post just a welcome. Hey, you know, thanks for joining our Facebook group, which if you're listening right now and are not in our Facebook group, you absolutely should join the group. It's a great place to discuss the episodes that we record. And, you know, sometimes the guest that we recorded with will come in and comment on their episode, and you can get a deep dive into some things. So, but that was my job. I just maybe 10 minutes a week I would sit down on Friday and just welcome the new members. That was it.
Yeah, and think about what that did for me. It was one thing I didn't have to do. It was
Yep.
something I wanted to do. Was it anywhere close from, top 10 on my priority list? No. And how do most of us handle our priority list? We do the most important things, as we should. And then at some point, you run out of steam. Once
Yep.
in a while, you run out of things to do, but usually you run out of steam. And so that welcoming of people to the group always fell off the list for me, because it would, I'd get down to, 4 or 5 o'clock and I'm fried, and I just didn't have any energy left. Well, I handed it to you and now it gets done. And, look at what's come of it, starting that small way. And here you are on the show, making it better. Now, that's not to say that that's what we're looking for. What are we looking for? We're looking for a production assistant, which, if you've never been involved in something like this, what does that mean? It means you're on the back end, behind the scenes. You're seeing who's getting scheduled. You're contributing to that. You are reaching out to people potentially. You are offering your feedback. You know what? This person seems like a jerk in their emails. I don't want them on the show. And we talk about that. You might also say, hey, I know about this person. I think they're awesome. They should be on the show. And we talk about that. And over time, people involved in production end up with a lot of say on the show. If you go back, if you look at who's come on the show in the last few months, Andrew, you've had a huge impact on that.
Yep.
When Leslie joined the show, she had a huge impact on that. It's not something that I think I have, honestly, the energy for, because I haven't had to do it myself for a while. And so I'm really thankful to you and Leslie for all that you've done. And we're just trying to build out the team. So if you're watching or listening, this is the first volunteer position. Now, does it start off as a volunteer? Yes. Does it mean that money may not be involved later? No, we're not taking that off the table. Right? We have to be diligent. I wasn't going to pay Andrew for his 10-minute a week job, not because I was opposed to it, but because by the time we both processed that paperwork, it wasn't worth anybody's time. I'm going to invoice you for $3.
Yeah.
I have to pay $3, right? Like that would be silly.
Doesn't make sense.
Instead, what I try to do, and if you talk to anybody who helps out with the show, you know that I give what I think is hopefully more valuable, which is my time. Anybody, and I'm not going to throw people under the bus, or not throwing them under the bus. I'm not going to expose people and share their stories, but I'm thinking of two people right now who have had questions about their training. One of them runs a school, and I have given them literally hours of my time to help them. And that's something that I feel I can do. And I can give that time, of course, for free. And that when you're part of the team, you're part of the team. And I take that incredibly seriously.
Well, and you get access to things that you wouldn't necessarily. I mean, this is a small thing, but you needed someone to help look at and edit your drafts of your book.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was in the team, it was easy for us to connect, and I got to read the book a little early.
Yeah. Bottom line, if you like what we do, I would encourage you to think about what you might be up for doing, because we'll say this again at the end, but I'll just kind of slide it in here. I usually don't turn down help. If there's something you want to help with, I'm probably going to say yes. All right. So there's the first one, production assistant. If you love this show, this is a way for you to contribute. And I won't promise, but I would expect you will get as much value out of your time involved in the show as you're spending. So hopefully did I miss anything in there before we go to the second one?
I mean, I would say if you're listening to the show, you probably believe in what we both believe in, which is to connect, educate, and entertain traditional martial artists. If you believe in that mission statement, there's a place for you to help out.
Yep. And if you don't know what that might be, but you're willing to help, just let us know.
Yeah.
Let me know if you're more comfortable. If you think I'm a big scary jerk, let Andrew know.
Yeah, I'm a big teddy bear.
You are. You are. Absolutely. All right. So the next one is website stuff. Our website, the whistlekickmartialartsradio.com website, is monstrous. There's a page for every single episode we've done. When we transitioned, when we got hacked for the 4,000th time and we had to migrate that site over, there are still things that aren't fixed. We are going back. There are people on the back end who are working on that, chipping away at it. We could use some help there, but also if someone has some skill, we actually could use some help in making some improvements. There are lots of little things that we could do to make the website better. For example, on the old website, we had a list of all the episodes, the locations of the guest, the styles that they trained in, and a direct link to that page. I would love to have that set up again. We've got a rough version of it, could get fleshed out.
Mm-hmm.
Are we looking for someone who is, an absolute website guru? It's their full-time job? Not necessarily. Wouldn't be a bad thing. But this is also an opportunity for people to learn. I'm a firm believer in tackling projects that you can just barely handle. It's kind of the philosophy of martial arts, right? Okay, you just earned this rank. We're going to teach you this brand new form, like day 2, that you are now allowed to learn. This happens in a lot of schools. And half the movements in it are things that you suck at. Good luck. But you get better by tackling those challenges.
Yeah, you don't learn much by doing something that you already know how to do really well all the time. You're not going to learn as much from that.
No, completely agree. And that's part of why I think this show and this company continue to grow, because I keep finding new stuff to tackle and ultimately try to hand off what I've figured out to other people who take it and do a better job with it. There are aspects to what you do, Andrew, that you do better than I did in terms of guests and some of the other stuff on the back end, that when I did it a certain way and took it to a certain point, handed it off. Other people have taken it and run even further with it. And I think that's awesome. So website stuff is the second one. Now, the third one, this is probably the one that I can't imagine anybody not being able to help on this one, and that's the social media front. We put a lot into our social media, not just for the show, but for Whistlekick in general. And we're falling down on it. Not on the creation part of it, but the engagement part, on the, let's say, the editing part, the vetting part. There are aspects to what we do that we could make so much better. How do I know we could make it better? Because here's an example. People steal our stuff all the time, crop our logo or paint over it, and we don't catch it. We don't always catch it. Now, could we? Probably. There are ways that we could be doing this. Not because we don't want people to share our stuff, but we want them to give us credit. You take one of our posts, let us know about it, right? Come on. That's the least people can do. So if you spend time on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, I don't care what the platform is. Basically, we are active everywhere but TikTok and Snapchat right now, just because of Snapchat. The platform doesn't really line up with what we're doing. And then TikTok, there's a future plan for. We're just not there yet in terms of video creation. But actually, if somebody was really, really up on TikTok and really wanted to go there, I can lay out that strategy for you. We've got the content. It's just a question of making it happen.
Find the right person to help.
Yeah. That's the heart of it. And every organization, in order to grow, has had to put the right people in place. And we're looking for the right people. Mm-hmm. So those are 3 possible things that you might be interested in helping with: the show, the website, the social media. And again, if you have other things that you look at what we're doing and you say, I'd love to be part of this or help with that, or I could assist here, let me know. Jeremy@whistlekick.com. And again, if you think I'm a big scary jerk, you can let Andrew know, Andrew@whistlekickmartialartsradio.com. Did I miss anything?
No, the only thing I would say is with the helping the production with the show, it has given me the ability, not the ability, that's a wrong word, given me the opportunity to connect with martial artists that I wouldn't have necessarily connected to because I was nervous. Yeah. Some big name, I mean, a perfect example, Patrick McCarthy, we had on the show about a month and a half ago. And in the traditional karate world, he's a big
He's
name.
a big name.
And he's not someone that I would have felt comfortable sending a message to saying, "Hi, we've never met, but here's who I am." But because I'm connected to the show, I was able to say, "Hey, I'm connected to this podcast and we would love to have you on." And we got to have a really great dialogue and exchange. And we're friends on Facebook now. So that's pretty cool. And just last week I emailed a couple of other, I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. It's going to be vague posts there, but some incredibly well-known martial artists that I would not have normally had an opportunity to connect with.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's a huge, I don't want to say benefit. It's a fun part of what we do is that we get to engage with some really well-known people. And you know what? They're all great people. If you're not a great person, you don't end up on this show. It just doesn't happen.
Yep.
Yeah. There we go. All right. Well, again, let me know, Jeremy@whistlekick.com. And other than that, you know how to find what we do. It's whistlekickmartialartsradio.com. It's whistlekick.com. It's patreon.com/whistlekick.
Oh, sorry. I don't want to oversaturate the market.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I think one in the intro, one in the outro is fine. If you're listening to this episode, of course, there's a video version. It's up on YouTube. And, if you want to help us out, you got a lot of ways, beyond what we've talked about today. Of course, your assistance would be the number one thing I would ask for. But if that's not right for you, share an episode, tell people about what we do, leave reviews, maybe grab a book. In the last week, I think we've put 2 new books up on Amazon. The Master Hopkick origin story has been completely rewritten. It's expanded. Shout out to Jenny for doing a killer job on that. And then also other Jenny for doing an amazing job bringing that out. And then I just got an email that we rolled out the Adrian Paul interview as a book on Amazon. So you can grab that. If you're a big fan of Adrian Paul, you can grab that and put it on your bookshelf. How cool is that? And of course, whistlekickprograms.com. If you want to get stronger, if you want to get faster, if you want to get better conditioned, the strength and speed hybrid program is almost done. And there are more coming. So check out all those things. Thank you, everyone, for your support. I appreciate you. Until next time, train hard, smile, and have a great day.